Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Could there be a third, number 3 card pack coming for Star Wars Legion? We're going to talk about that in today's video. There have been some very interesting signs hinting towards the very rapid approaching of another card pack, and I think it's exciting. There's a lot they can do with it. We're going to talk about why, what it might be, and some things that it could rectify in today's video. If you guys are new here to the channel, we do talk an awful lot about Star Wars tabletop games. Love to have you stick around. There's still time to enter to win that big giveaway for a Star Wars Shatterpoint core set in the form of a $165 Amazon gift card. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. I want to know your favorite unit in Star Wars Legion, and maybe why you think they could use a new upgrade card or something to help them out. Like, what's something that you might want to see in Legion, or one of your favorite tabletop games? What do you want AMG to deliver for your favorite tabletop games? And maybe that comes in the form of some new upgrade cards. Look, upgrade cards are a great way to enhance a game without having to make new plastics. Sometimes it can be, it can be time consuming, and it can be cost consuming, cost prohibitive in some cases, depending on if your game is pre-painted or not. And upgrade cards are just printing paper. You still have to design them and get art and get everything approved, but you're not having to try to make miniatures. You're not trying to do 3D sculpting. You're not trying to get stuff shipped from a factory overseas. Maybe you are. I don't know where they do their printing now, but I can imagine card packs are a great way to get a lot of love to a game with a less resistance along the way. And they've certainly done that before. Fantasy Flight started off doing the original upgrade card pack. Then the upgrade card pack 2 came out along the time of the Shadow Collective. There's every intention that there's going to be a third card pack. And I'm going to talk about why. So it's pretty cool stuff. And I'm curious, how many of you guys would really like that? Because like years ago, they used to just give us cards, upgrade cards in all of the expansions. Sometimes it was something that was made for a unit. Sometimes it was something that was just made for the wave in general, or meant to kind of balance the meta a little bit. And sometimes we'd get multiple copies of an upgrade card just so you didn't have to fish around. Sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad. There was Yoda, who came with, the burst of force speed, and then of course, that was only available with Yoda, so every other force user around the globe had to go buy Yoda or wait for the upgrade card pack 2 and things like that. And so I think Fantasy Flight was, initially onto something. It was something they did a lot in X-Wing, where they just put, you had to kind of fish for, like, I have to buy this expansion just to get this upgrade card. And they've kind of started to get away from that a little bit over time. It took them a while to get there. And I can imagine it's also tough because, you're trying to sell product and you're like, hey, man, we're selling a lot of TIE fighters because we put this awesome upgrade in there and we're making a lot of money from it. Do we really want to, like, stop that? And I think they realized it wasn't probably the best way ahead. So it was pretty cool that they started doing things like this, and then eventually going with the upgrade card packs, and and so that's really cool. But something changed along the way when Atomic Mass Games took over. There was like this last wave that FFG had kind of had like already kind of in production, and I think once they started, AMG started kind of really taking over with the production and ramping it up, we stopped seeing upgrade cards show up in a lot of packs, and like there's like all the new stuff we haven't seen upgrade cards in, and I think that's pretty interesting, and I think it gives us it's our first sign of why upgrade card pack number 3 might be coming, and might be coming kind of soon. If you guys are not already aware, I want to thank today's sponsor, Luxury Playstyle. Amazing tokens compatible with Star Wars Legion. They are fantastic, out of this world tokens. They're double-sided, they're shiny, they're gorgeous. You can save 15% by using code Crabbok VIP at checkout. So head over to luxuryplaystyle.com, check out these amazing tokens. They have tokens compatible with Legion, they have tokens compatible with X-Wing, Magic the Gathering, Keyforge, Arkham Horror, L5R. Check them out. They're awesome tokens. You're going to love them. And don't forget to use code Crabbok VIP to save 15%. And just treat yourself a little bit. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so there's definitely a lot of empty spaces where we used to have upgrade cards. You can still get some upgrade cards. Like a lot of the latest expansions, we haven't seen stuff. The Mando, Din Djarin, the Swoops, the IG droids, Boba Fett Daimo expansion, Moff Gideon, the Dark Troopers, Commander Cody, Hera, Asajj Ventress. like all of this latest couple of waves of stuff out of Legion, no upgrade cards. And I think that's a sign that they've decided to say, hey, instead of putting upgrade cards with the expansions, we're going to sell that separately. I'm sure some people have different ideas on that. I think it's a smart move. I think it's an easy move. I think it's a good move overall. They already did the upgrade card pack 2, right? And that came out with Shadow Collective. Whenever there's like a big wave or like a Battle Force box or something like that, you can get some upgrade cards in there. That's an opportunity to do it. I feel like with the Ewoks coming out later this year, it's a perfect time to announce an upgrade card pack 3. I expect we may see that announced before the end of the year. Maybe a surprise announcement to launch with the Ewoks, because they may want to have some upgrades all their own too. There may be some Ewok specific upgrades. Not sure. We've got very, very little, surprisingly little on the Ewoks. I thought they were coming out in like June or July initially of this year, but right now, with as little as we've seen, I wouldn't be surprised if they get pushed back a little bit farther into the year. Either way, I do expect them to come with some new upgrade cards. I expect to see upgrade card pack 3 not long thereafter. Now, I think there's a number of things that they can do very, very well with an upgrade card pack 3. One of the new things is take a look at cards like Asajj and Ahsoka that have some new force abilities and training abilities. Those make for great opportunities to bring some new upgrades into the game. But why would they maybe not have been in the packs? Well, you might say, hey, they want me to buy an upgrade card pack. And well, those are usually very, very inexpensive, like $10, $20, something like that, depending on the size of the upgrade card pack. Cardboard isn't super expensive for you to buy for a game like this. So I don't think it's just about trying to get you to make an extra purchase. What I think it's more about is like, well, maybe there's a really good Force upgrade card pack here, but you only play Empire. So there's definitely that. Like, maybe you don't want to necessarily have to buy across the aisle. And a lot of upgrades initially would do that. They didn't always, because, like in some cases they would give you extra copies of one, or sometimes they'd give you an upgrade and everything. Sometimes an expansion would come with upgrades that stuff couldn't even use, but it was just there because everything in the wave was supposed to get like the new upgrade cards, whichever faction you bought it for. Because sometimes an upgrade might come with this character, and it's actually not really that great on this character. Is really, really good on somebody else, like Yoda with Burst of Speed. It works on Yoda. It's not bad on Yoda, but he doesn't actually really need it. But it's really, really overpowered on like Vader or Palpatine, right? So, maybe not well, it might be overpowered. Depends on how you look. But that's where like it's maybe strongest. And so, sometimes the upgrade is for the wave and for the game as a whole, and not really for the character. We still do get upgrades when they're like unique to that character. Like Moff Gideon still had the Darksaber because he's the only one that could use his version of the Darksaber. Things like that you're still going to see. Dark Troopers still have their own heavy, like they're in their own programming that's unique to them only. But you're not seeing generic upgrades that kind of expand the game as a whole. And I think there's a lot of opportunity for that. I think Commander Cody as an expansion would have been a perfect opportunity to initially have had some awesome new upgrades that were going to revitalize Gar. And a lot of this stuff was still, either planned or designed by under FFG or for some old FFG personnel. And so maybe, there was a change of plans along the way. I'm not sure, but you definitely Legion for the first 8 waves or so, it was all like upgrades come in every box. Things are a little different now. Definitely expect to see upgrade card pack 3. Now, what might they do in here? We talked a little bit about Asajj and Ahsoka being the new Force users. Great opportunity for an upgrade card pack 3 to have some new Force abilities, some new training abilities. Maybe there's a new config. Maybe Dark Troopers might have come with a new config that would have been cool for maybe Separatist players, especially if it's a universal config. But then does Separatists have to buy Imperial Dark Troopers just to get something for them? Better to put it in an upgrade card pack. Maybe Cody was going to have some awesome new stuff and might also be useful to another faction too, but may have been really, really good for the Republic. Or maybe a great new Republic card was actually going to come with Daimo Boba Fett. Or Daimyo Boba Fett, and so it's like, it makes more sense to just put them in an upgrade card pack that all of a sudden now can rebalance the game. It also gives them an opportunity, here's another point, It gives them the opportunity to develop an upgrade card separate from any given unit. Like, it doesn't have to, like, maybe there's a force ability that doesn't suit Asajj Ventress, and it also doesn't suit Ahsoka, but they want to include it. And maybe it would be weird, you know, maybe there's a force ability that's like, you know what, we need to include Palpatine throwing the Senate or something like that. And we don't think that's appropriate for either one of these two. Asajj might not have been strong enough in the Force. Ahsoka might not have been evil enough to do it, or whatever. But we want to include it for the balance of the game as a whole. An upgrade card pack's a perfect time to do something like that. There's also rumors that a lot of these cards were tested with new upgrades designed specifically for some of the more recent expansions, and they did not actually ship with them. So it's also a great opportunity to take those cards that should go with certain units, that maybe certain units are flying under the radar right now, waiting for, hey, this upgrade, you know, this, you know, gonk droid or whatever, like now all of a sudden makes this other thing really, really good. That's a possibility. Also gives them the opportunity to, you know, put out cards that never came out. You know, Gar Saxon's Combat Shield, for example, you know, like any kind of errata, misprints, reprints, things like that can all come in the upgrade card pack also. Not to increase the cost of it, you know, you should do things like that as a bonus. So, like, I used to play a game, an LCG, that would occasionally come out with new card packs, and they were always like $20 for a card pack, and you'd get like 60 new cards. And whenever there was errata or corrections and things like that, those would be on top of that. So you'd still get your 60 new cards, but maybe you'd get like 68 new cards. And like, here's all the corrections for the past year in this latest card pack, in addition to the 60 new cards. So it was like basically just a delivery mechanism for them to give you cards. Same thing goes with like the Battle Force command cards. They're print and play. They're for free. You know, great print and play stuff is great and everything, but people kind of also really want the real cards. It's a great opportunity for them to put those out as well. They've done stuff like that. They've given some of the print and play cards out in certain other packages. An upgrade card pack 3 is the perfect way to do that. I think that's a great idea. Possibly also new Battle Force cards too. If they're looking to say like, hey, we also want to launch the Wookiee Battle Force or whatever. That's a great way to put those Battle Force cards out. So that'll be a really exciting thing. And so I think that there's definitely a lot of opportunities for an upgrade card pack 3. I want to hear some of your thoughts. I think it should definitely be coming. I think it'll probably come around the time of the Ewoks. You know, we've got so much news and so many new things that were previewed at Adepticon. We got new battle forces on the way too. Great way to give new Battle Force specific upgrade cards. You know, I want to hear some of your thoughts on what you think an upgrade card pack 3 could include. Let me know down in the comments below. Also, join our Discord. Links are all down there, so click on all those links. They're great links for you. They're good links. They're good links. They're very good links. You want to click on the links, and you want to go like through the internet tunnel to the new web page that it brings you. I don't know what I'm talking about. It's just a crazy day, and all these lines in the back of the Star Destroyer are driving me crazy. So I'm going to end the video now. I want to thank you so much for watching. Big thanks to all my patrons. You're wonderful. Thank you so much for the giant pizza with a giant cannoli on it. Why would you eat cannoli on pizza? Makes no sense.